Alright guys, on the bench we have a Uniden trucker PTC 104, and as its name suggests, this was made for the trucker in mind. So these originally came with a 6-foot cord, the original mic, so that way when you're in the cab, in your truck, whatever you have, Peterbilt, Mac, don't matter, you can have that extra length on that cord. Just easier to use, right? For all those truckers, who know, sometimes the cords can be a little bit short, if you're mounting them in the overhead console or if they're sitting on top of your dash. So these originally came with like a 6-foot coil cord. Nice big display. I'd have to say it's, probably like 2-3 times bigger than your normal size channel display. 2 meters. So you can see here, one is for modulation and SWR, and then the other one is RX-TX. So you can kind of, I like having the 2 meters, personally. You can actually, see the difference, from where you're sitting, in your truck. Again, this is, this was built for the trucker in mind. So nice, like a soft rubber knob, and easy to flip switches. So again, keeping the trucker in mind, this is a really, really good radio. So you're not, because sometimes reading some of these dials in the dark, it can be kind of tough. So I like how it's split up between 2 meters. And a nice big channel display. For all you truckers out there, you can kind of appreciate how this radio is set up. So with that being said, this is that second radio from Carlos. So we're gonna go right through it, probably recap it, definitely align it, kind of just go through it and get this meter fixed. So it does transmit, does receive. The modulation meter does work. Audio, audio, audio. You can see that that other meter there is stuck, the RX-TX meter. But the more I've been using it, the more it's been getting unstuck. So I'm pretty confident that I can get that meter freed up. So, yeah. We'll get that meter freed up. We'll give this, cleaning all around. It's not bad looking. All the knobs work, but we're going to be cleaning them up with some deoxit anyway, cleaning up the switches. But it does, like I said, does transmit, does receive. So we have, about a 4.5 watt dead key. Audio, audio. Yeah, just swinging past 20 and coming back to 20 watts PEP. So we got a good radio here. Let's put this on the signal generator and see how receive is on it. Stand by. All right, hooked up to the signal generator, and let's put an S9 signal through it. So we bring this back down, so we're at 60, we want minus 67 dBm. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's minus 67 dBm on the meter. And you can see it's calibrated right, but obviously the meter is sticking, so the meter is sticking, but it is at pretty much an S9. But once we get that meter unstuck, I have a feeling that thing is right on. But anyway, we'll go right through the alignment, make sure that RX-TX is calibrated properly for that meter. But yeah, so it does transmit, does receive. Let's see how well it is receiving. Let me get the Synad meter hooked up to this thing. Stand by. All right, it's on the signal generator. Sorry about the tone. So -110. It's 110. So about -111 dBm, so that's actually pretty good receive. I don't have the specs for this particular radio and what Synad should be, but you know, generally techs consider, you know, -110 good receive on AM. So yeah, that's it's a good receiving radio. Just needs a little love, that's all. Let's get this open and see what's going on inside. Chances are we're going to see the original caps. So yeah, stand by. I'll get this thing open and give it a final assessment. Okay, well, looking inside, we have a completely stock radio. Original caps. Nothing, looks like nothing's been modified at first glance, so that's good. We have a 2075 final, and I'm not sure what that driver is. I can't really read the numbers, but yeah, so we have a pretty good candidate here for you know, a full service. I like having radios like this where you can just, you know, go at it, clean it up, recap it, align it, and you know, you have another 30 years out of these radios. So one thing I will check is on the other side of this, on the foil side of the board, I'll check to make sure that this SWR bridge is soldered correctly, doesn't have any stress cracks. Same with the mic, because it's a through, you know, it's kind of butt soldered together. And these are always flexing or whatever, you know, especially on the mic, you know, because you're putting the mic plug, you know, in and out. So we got a little pointer here. So these solder joints here, these butt joints here, sometimes will show signs of cracking, but this one here looks like it's actually okay. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to reflow those, you know, so I'll probably end up doing that. Same here along the SWR bridge, making sure that these are all, I'll probably put this under a microscope and make sure everything is cool, or I might just reflow them anyway. But yeah, other than that, just a standard, I'll get this all nice and clean, the foil side nice and clean, clean everything up, recap it. Looks like it's a relatively easy radio to recap. So yeah, this should be a pretty much just a standard service for this particular radio. So I'm excited to get to it. But I think I'm gonna leave this video here, kind of like the other radio, the Cobra 29 LTD, because it's pretty much straightforward, recapping and getting this thing aligned. So nothing special there. What I might do is I might do a follow-up video with everything nice and clean, polished. You know, the cases actually don't look too bad. So yeah, I'll get those cleaned up. Get some of these knobs cleaned up as best I can. You know, get the front cleaned up. And yeah, give Carlos back an awesome working radio. So I'll leave it here. Stay tuned for a part 2 if I decide to make it. And that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Rather than making a separate video on this Turner mic, it's a Super Sidekick, I figured I'd just tack this onto the end of the PTC 104. So this also belongs to Carlos, and so he's having some issues with it. When I plugged it in, it was squealing, so this is just a standard Cobra 29 that I took off the shelf for testing. So it was squealing. So I fixed the wires in here, so now it's wired for a Cobra 4-pin. The other thing you want to make sure is always have a good battery. You know, change them out every so often, even if they're not dead. So we have 3 axial mounted electrolytics, and we'll be changing those out as well. So yeah, you have one 47 microfarad 25 volts, and then the other 2 22 microfarad 16 volts. So we'll be upgrading those to like 25 as well. But yeah, so this is pretty straightforward. The other thing you want to make sure is when you set, so this hole right here, this slot is for this switch. So you just want to make sure that it's always on electronic, unless you're using this on a radio that actually has a transmit relay. Then you can move that switch down. But if you're going to be using it on that Uniden or a Cobra, you know, mobile, leave it on electronic. That's about it. Because if you put it to relay, it's, you know, it's not going to work. You might get a squeal, you might not, but it's not going to work unless you actually need this microphone to trigger a transmit relay. So chances are I'll leave it on electronic. Well, that's about it. I don't have these in stock. I don't normally stock axial mount electrolytics, but in this case there's just so little room in there, because normally what I would do is I would just probably put in just a radial mount, you know, because they do the same thing, but in this case this needs a radial mounted electrolytic so it could actually fit inside. So no big deal. We'll get those ordered, and yeah, get the mic straightened away. So let me just you can see now that you know, it's working, so we can actually test this. Hopefully it's all right. Audio, 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 audio. All right, so we got it working. So now it's just a matter of getting these electrolytics changed. All right, guys, thanks for watching.